Hello and welcome. All right, let's just dive right in. Today, we're going to go way beyond the basics of just using AI to generate new code. We are going to unlock some next level skills that will seriously, and I mean seriously, upgrade your entire workflow. So let me just ask you this. When you reach for an AI assistant, like GitHub Copilot, what are you asking it to do? Are you mostly just asking it to write a new function or maybe a new component from scratch? Look, that's a great start, but honestly, it's kind of like having a supercar that you only use to drive to the grocery store. Today, we're zeroing in on two of the most critical, and let's be real, often the most challenging parts of our job as developers, tackling technical debt and making those big, complex technical decisions. We're going to turn your AI into a specialist for both. Okay, first up, refactoring. I want you to think of your AI as the ultimate code janitor. It doesn't just build shiny new things, it can get in there and clean up all the old, messy stuff with just incredible precision. You know the feeling. We've all been there. You inherit some code, or maybe you wrote it yourself on a crazy deadline, and it's just a monster. It's got this deeply nested conditional logic that, yeah, it works, but it is an absolute nightmare to read, to debug, or to even think about extending. So check out the kind of prompt we can use for this. It's so specific. We're not just vaguely saying, hey, clean this up. No, we're telling the AI exactly what to refactor, that nested ternary condition. And we're even suggesting how to do it, with a helper function or a switch case. And the goal is crystal clear: improve readability. This level of detail, that's the key. All right, let's switch gears to our next scenario. Now we're going to transform our AI into a code detective, a top-notch research assistant that helps you navigate that overwhelming jungle of libraries and tools out there. So imagine this. You need to build some really slick gesture-based animations in your React Native app. Okay, so where do you even begin? There are so many libraries, and each one has its own quirks, its own strengths and weaknesses. And a wrong choice right here could cost you days, maybe even weeks of painful rework down the line. Now this prompt, this is how you do research. We're not just asking what libraries are there, we are demanding an analysis. Notice the key words here: compare, pros and cons, and maybe the most crucial part of all, when to use what. This forces the AI to think less like a search engine and more like a senior developer, giving you a nuanced recommendation, not just a list. Okay, so you've seen two very different but very powerful prompts. They kind of feel like magic, right? But they're not. There's a repeatable structure, a blueprint that makes them so incredibly effective. You want to see it? Here we go. We're going to call this the perfect prompt blueprint. This right here is your master key. This is what unlocks those high-quality, reliable responses from your AI assistant. So let's break this thing down, piece by piece. Everything, and I mean everything, starts with the task. This is the absolute core of your request, and it is non-negotiable. You have to be crystal clear about your intent. Not just make a button, but create a reusable login button. What do you actually want the AI to do? Every single great prompt starts with a clear answer to that question. Next up, libraries. Now this is highly recommended because context is king. By telling the AI which packages or frameworks you're using, like React Native Reanimated or Axios, you stop it from guessing. You're basically putting up guardrails that dramatically improve the accuracy of the code it gives you. And in that same vein, you should always try to specify the platform and language. Is this for iOS, Android, or both? Are we working in TypeScript or JavaScript? Answering these simple questions right up front prevents the AI from making bad assumptions and giving you code that's totally useless for your project. Now, just as important as what you want it to do is what you want it to give you back. You have to define the output. Don't just ask for some code. Ask for a React component, a custom hook, a utility function, or even a just test case. Being explicit about the final thing you expect, it is a total game changer. And finally, we have constraints. This is where you really level up your prompting. This is how you go from just getting code to getting good code. Are there specific performance needs? Does it have to follow accessibility rules? Is reusability a major goal? Mentioning these things helps the AI make much, much smarter architectural choices for you. So, let's put it all together. The two required pieces are a clear task and a defined output. You absolutely need those. Then, the recommended parts, libraries, platform, language, and constraints, those are what take your prompt from just good to truly great. The big takeaway here is simple. The more context you give the AI, the better the result is going to be.
Okay, theory is great and all, but let's see this blueprint in action. We're going to build a complete, high-quality prompt from the ground up using every single one of these components.
And here's how we're going to do it. First, I'm just going to show you the final, complete prompt in all its glory. Then, we'll go back and break it down, piece by piece, and map every part of it back to the blueprint we just learned. And here it is. Just take a second to read that. This is a request for a pretty complex piece of UI, right? But it's specific, it's packed with context, and it sets really clear expectations for quality. This is what a professional-grade prompt looks like.
And now, here's that aha moment. Look at how perfectly that prompt maps to our blueprint. The task, create a custom animated heart button. The output, a component. The specific libraries, the platform, the language, they're all called out. And the critical constraint, ensure smooth performance. See? Every single part of our blueprint is in there. This isn't just a random question anymore. It's a detailed specification.
Look, by really internalizing this blueprint, you're not just learning a new trick. You're fundamentally changing your relationship with these AI tools. This is a genuine superpower for any developer.
So what it all boils down to is this. A well-structured prompt transforms the entire interaction. It stops being a simple command, and it becomes a rich, contextual dialogue. You're no longer just barking orders. You're actually collaborating with an AI partner to build better software faster.
So, I'll leave you with this question. Now that you're armed with this blueprint for refactoring, for research, for implementation, what complex, thorny problem that's been sitting on your backlog forever are you going to solve next?